briefs, yeah, are they just for one person or two people? Because the whole the court was like it seemed like an exam hall of sorts. You know, everybody was
Someone
so
sleeping.
serious.
I don't know where that picture came from. The video. Some people actually,
Nodded.
like filmed the proceedings from the TV set, so
Yes.
and put it up on social media.
And some people who were nodding or sleeping.
Yeah, just kind of.
Let me
looking
tell you,
exhausted.
even if it's not a judgment, court proceedings are not something that are very exciting. There's no way you can find excitement in court. It's just not done. It's not like that. But every now and again, I mean, you could see um, briefs or even the judges themselves punctuating their summation with humorous lines and propositions that people just scatter in the and we laugh and stuff like that. But it's not an exciting thing at all. So people had to, and you will see old men sitting with all of their knowledge and being very, very attentive to virtually every sentence being made, because that is something to query. That is something to hear about. That is something to explain, to say, oh, would it have been this thing that this judge said that turned around this case? So people should not see it as, oh, it's one way or the other. It's a very cumbersome job, and that is why our judges, whichever way you look at them, I mean, if you admit or accept to do a job like this, know that a day like this yesterday may come, and it is likely to come. So it is every judge's nightmare when things like this. Look at the army of SANs and whatever. Tell me, say culpability no finish for that court. There was so much.
When you say culpability, you're talking about legal jargons and all the Latin
not jargons. I'm talking about knowledge. No.
Yes.
Yes, knowledge is what brings in the technicalities. Because if you don't have the knowledge, you cannot throw in wheels. I mean, cogs into the wheel.
Can you remind us what obiter dictum means? I seem to have forgotten from my one semester of law.
I know, Sabi.
Okay, so
that is the statement made by one judge or the other in respect of a matter. That's particularly he dictates something, and that sort of becomes the pattern,
like a precedent
like
that is
a precedent,
followed
yes.
by subsequent. Okay, that's good. There are other stories that we picked up. There's also another one that pointed to the kidnap and the confession. I know Toby asked a few questions. Do you have anything to say about that? About the material. You have some proximity with the military background, so
yes.
Should we have these colors easily accessible by civilians?
You cannot stop people from buying. People talk about this uniforms being found in Okrika.
But we've seen soldiers harassing civilians to take off those. Do they have the right to do that?
In our circumstances, in our experience, sometimes it is needed. I don't blame it. I tell my folks, I will not buy my children a camouflage, for instance, in Nigeria. No, God forbid. You know why? People are out there on the road. I have experienced it. Until you experience it, that is when you will know that human rights not be foolish rights. Some people would deliberately do something foolish. I had been stopped on a trip out of town by guys, and I'm looking at them. I knew these ones are Ole Niwon, then be Oyoshi. There's no other way. And they were wearing camouflage. And I looked at this camouflage, looked at all of them, I just tried, and they were trying to stop us. Even the manner with which they were trying to stop was not right.
Of course, they were
I
trained.
just read, say, you stay there, please God, have mercy on me, I'm going to kill somebody. Everybody just jumped off the way because they were not police officers, they were not army officers,
The
yet
questions
they were
would
in
be,
camouflage.
Why would a soldier or group of soldiers be on the highway trying to stop cars? It's not their job.
That's what we're saying. It is not their jobs, but you will see people in camouflage on the road trying to stop. So when you see one of such people walking towards you majestically on the road, would you look at such and say, okay, you are a bona fide soldier, so let it go? So when a proper soldier sees something, because there's something about that uniform, you will know the real one. You will know the real one because you have an issue. If they had issued you one and you see somebody who is wearing an okrika or a look-alike of what is yours, you will know. So these people accost them and tell them, my friend, you are one of those people destroying the image of the army. Pull that thing on the road. I stood there one day and I saw a gentleman being stripped. I don't pity that fellow because I have known, I've heard in this job what they have done to people. What those people will in camouflage that will just come surreptitiously making it look like. How would you see 5 camouflage people standing on the road wanting to check particulars of motor? Say waiting do them. Particulars of motor, and they are all wearing camouflage and sandals. Something is fishy. So I do not support it, and there's no human right of any sort anybody can claim for me. In the circumstances in our country where there's a lot of kidnapping, there's a lot of security issue, God help also. Please, let nobody... Second, please.
Okay.
All right, now moving on. Okay, then you want to say anything about the? Okay, let me just reiterate what it says. The minimum wage borrow orders immediate conclusion of consequential adjustment. OK's presidential committee salaries allowances. Okay, so President Buhari has also approved the constitution of the presidential committee on salaries and allowances that will be handling all requests after the conclusion of consequential adjustment negotiations. The Minister of Labour, Chris Ngige, made this known yesterday. So, and he said the directive by the president for quick completion of the whole process would help not to accumulate backlogs, especially for state governors. And because he said it's been signed since April.
Yes, now. I mean, April to now. This is September. The point is that there's been 2 quarters in between, have we not? So what we're talking about is, if the president says, look, go and finish up this, it's all about negotiations. Agree and agree. Agree and agree. Okay, what about this? What about that? The people who are going to pay it in the states, do they have that kind of money?
Well, some states have stepped forward to...
I know you said like Kaduna has started paying.
Give me percentage of states. The point we are making is, look, right now,
Are you saying that states can't pay this minimum?
No. Let's take what we know.
Take for instance.
Initially, we had majority accepted.
Yes.
With just a few, 6 or 7 states saying they don't have.
Because they know what they made those pronouncements for. That's what our politicians are like. Seyi Makinde came in and said, "Oh, your state cannot pay." And this is the finest. With due respect, everybody, this is the fellow to watch right now. We'll come back to that.
All right, we'll take a breather to take headlines from, Adeolu Pilot concerning Lagos traffic at this point.
Good morning, Adeolu.
Morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. I hope you guys are went over there.
Yes. You came in well.
Definitely, the must have touched you. Even if we slept over, definitely crossing over to the studios. You know what I'm talking about. I don't want the outsiders to understand what I'm talking about. Well, it's been a very wet morning in Lagos, and I am saying it is still dropping most sites in Lagos. This rain actually fell in Adejare. The terminal bridge is wet. That's why we need to reduce our speed, but it's very, very good driving onto the terminal bridge from the mainland. Imonah is very, very busy now. Terminal bridge is gathering up. Some 40 vehicles, salon cars most especially, but they are being parked by the side of the bridge, meaning it is a very lucky one for us. You know, this has some storms. You would not believe some part of Ikeja falling trees on the road. It's not been a very, very lovely one, I must say. But the most important message is that if I should tell you this morning, don't dare this route, please don't dare it. Number one route I must really pass across to me this morning is anywhere around Kiri. When I mention Kiri, Nigerians are might go to the president. I am not referring anybody to the president yet because I know you don't have any business there this morning and never. But the fact remains that I'm talking about Old Ojo Road inward Kirikiri town or outward Kirikiri town. It's been difficult for vehicles to move in and move out. Commuters are, going through hell right now. Trucks all over the place. Abuli Ado as well, both ends, almost locked down. As I speak with you right now, and if Abuli Ado is witnessing traffic, the traffic will definitely affect Trivia under bridge. I'm talking about Lagos Badagry Express Road. Alaba is not bad this morning. From Ijanike, those that will be going through Adara this morning, the state of the road, construction will being done right now, and the rain will not make things too good. But in as much as we are not going there, Trivia, Abuli Ado, or Old Ojoro this morning, the other part of Lagos Badagry Express Road is still manageable this morning. Lagos Abeokuta is not bad as well. I must quickly pass that message across. Ikeja along in Abuja, that rain got everywhere wet this morning. Ikeja along is slow, but it's a moving one. Likewise, cement, you have it very big. It's one at cement mango as well. So it's also very encouraging. One thing I cannot see your movement because the potholes are being covered by floods this morning is your movement from Abuli, particularly from Luton to Tote Songo. That road, you know what we're going through, dilapidated. That is the best way to describe it this morning. But one other message I must pass across this morning, apart from the fact that people coming out of the corridor this morning, you have it very good as well. Lovely for us, it's not a long one. Just from my 12 Ketu proper. Beyond Ketu this morning, you have it very good onto the Yala Road. The Yala Road, I thought I was going to see flood on the Yala Road this morning, but I got there and I saw that place dry. There's no flood. I never said dry as in no water at all. Inward Maryland inward, the whole of the road still lovely this morning. Definitely Pangrove and Unipan and Fadi constitute a little bit of delay, but in as much as you're the patient driver, you will not see that as a big deal. Just ensure your pedal is functional. I'm talking about the brake pedal. Just take it easy and you'll be out of it. Like I said earlier on, before I let you guys go this morning, one very important news this morning is please don't do Agege. And if you're doing Agege, do Agege proper. Don't try Ashadi inward or background. I must tell you, I was there around 5:30 this morning. I spent nothing less than 45 minutes. Right now, the report I got from that head says you spend nothing less than 1 hour, 30 minutes, or almost 2 hours. Then what are we talking about this morning? The trucks are taking over the whole of our connectivity. Movement inward and outward. Even the three-wheelers, taking a step, are not finding it too easy to fly that route this morning. Please avoid Agege, Ashadi if you can. If you are on Capitol Road, the best alternative right now to escape this issue is go to Shebi Otimo. Make use of that very mango Ashadi to link up with Ikeja along. Ikeja along is the best and far alternative unlike the other one. Have a lovely week. Thursday morning. Take care of yourself.
Thank you so much, Adejare, for that great traffic report. As usual, Adejare knows how to do it best. How he does it without his plane, jet, I don't know. In fact, I feel like he has wings here. So thank you so much, Adejare. We appreciate you always for doing this with us every other time.
All right, we'll go for a breather at this point, and once we're back, we'll take your comments straight up.
Yes, so
and, give
your
you
messages, your comments, everything. Don't forget, if you haven't sent in your messages and text messages or WhatsApp messages yet, the numbers are 0810 608 1681 0818 202 5883, 0810 608 1681, 0818 202 5883. Metro 97.7 FM.
Newspaper headlines, Monday to Saturdays, 6 to 7 a.m. with in-depth analysis on Metro FM.
Clinton Avenue in New Jersey, and I'm speaking with
ABC Sprinter Service now goes to Warri, Aba, Abuja, Accra, Ghana, Oka, Benin, Calabar, Enugu, Mbise, Onitsha, Owerri, Port Harcourt, Umuahia, and Uyo from Lagos every day. Go with ABC to Aba, Abuja, Accra, Ghana, Oka, Benin, Calabar, Enugu, Kaduna, Mbise, Onitsha, Owerri, Port Harcourt, Umuahia, and Uyo from Lagos on fully air-conditioned buses with controlled speed, good leg space, and only 3 persons per row in ABC Sprinter buses. Remember, ABC Sprinter is for like
60 years and counting. We are still transforming lives and building giants.
And book your tickets. You can buy your tickets online at www.abctransport.com. Call us on 081 3986 2090 or 81 4255 2434 and 070 66 72 7905. ABC Transport, your passport to service.
If you ever think of relocating to Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, please relocate legally. Illegal immigrations end in mysteries and deep regrets, while legal immigrations bring joy, progress, dignity, and prosperity. Many of our countrymen and women are either languishing in jail or are mere vagabonds in different countries of the world because of ignorance and disrespect for procedures, laws, and regulations. Jonathan King Limited is known worldwide for her deep knowledge and respect for the rules and regulations of these great countries. And as usual, Jonathan King Limited will take you through the process and give the correct advice to achieve your noble ambition. You too can live and work in Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. Registration ends on 30th September 2019, so take advantage and obtain your own form at Metro FM Ikoyi and first floor, God's Grace Plaza, 65 Allen Avenue, Ikeja, Lagos.
Yes, we have to keep talking about the good things.
All the 3,000 pounds that
The unemployment rate in the country
collecting
is
for
worrisome.
himself.
21 million unemployed youths as of December 2018, with so much energy, creativity, and life among them. Nigeria's youth population has too much to offer, giving all necessary skills to explore the vast opportunities across the nation. Enterprise Network is a radio program designed for youths, shaping their businesses and the national economy through personal initiatives, research, and investments in micro and small enterprises, entertainment, and information technology. The idea is to help you succeed. So join the convo, bring up the challenge, get solutions, upskill your skills, be your own boss. Listen to Enterprise Network Thursdays at 12 noon on Metro 97.7 FM. Enterprise Network, a hazy networks communication production powered by Bank of Industry. 60 years and counting, we are still transforming lives and building giants. From accounting to medicine, nursing, and law, our graduates are making major impacts in different sectors.
60. With the standard of a world-class medical school, we have performed 100% successful open heart surgeries in 3 years.
Thriving on our core values, our students have recorded 100% success at national and international external examinations like the MBBS, award winners in ICANN, the bar exams, and many more. Babcock University, with decades of providing holistic education and building servant leaders for a better world. Babcock University, Elisha Remo, rolls out the drums to celebrate 60 years of a journey of grace.
Date 17th September 2019 at Babcock University campus, Elisha Remo, Ogun State. Be a part of this landmark anniversary.
Babcock University.
Who be that?
The future is bright. Metro 97.7 FM. Fresh off the press. Newspaper headlines. Monday to Saturdays, 6 to 7 a.m. with in-depth analysis on Metro FM.
Yes. Oh, you're taking messages. Also, let me complete this thing about human video. We must put it, oh yes, we'll put it in their faces. That's the governor working.
All right, Metro 97.7 FM. It's still the AM NewsPaperReview segment on AM Lagos Live. And you know how we do it every Thursday. And still your favorite crew in the studio. And Seyi has something on his mind that he wants to talk about. Is it because,
which one is something on the mind?
Is it because they are namesakes?
No, not really. Everyone is talking about GSM
Yes.
at this point in time, and it's something that Nigerians seem to be proud of, both within and out of the country. You hear people talking about him because what he did or what has been
he's
recorded
been doing.
so far, which does not exclude continuing projects from the previous administration, has been quite, interesting and really positive.
And some
so
have
far.
gone as far as asking if he is actually a Nigerian.
The point
Or
we're
if it was
making is
borrowed.
Seyi Makinde has blown out the minds of a lot of people. I mean, he's just recently we were talking about him coming out to say Oyo State government does not have 30,000 to pay its staff, but they are going to work at it. He's not saying that he's not going to do it within his term, but they're going to work at it and see how they will, improve things as time goes by. However, here is a governor who is rescinding and refunding parents of pupils, guardians of pupils in state-owned school of the money collected from these parents in school. He's refunding about 28 million naira to parents. Which kind of money people, for forms, collect money for forms and some kind of funny expenses that the erstwhile administration asked pupils to pay. I know of a pupil in Ibadan that will not go to school because of 3,000 naira. Has not been to school for a term because of 3,000 naira. That's the kind of money Seyi Makinde is talking about, and saying to dustbin with that kind of law. So he's told the Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, go and put all those names, all those people that pay and those who cannot pay. Let everybody return to school. School education is where this nation needs to harness its ultimate resources, because we have it, but we must not let it rot. And this is where to do it. Catch them young, teach them young, put them in the right path, and let things work for you. This guy is doing magic. I don't know. I don't know why the word magic comes to my mind, but the reality is, this is what is needed, and we must give him thumbs up for what he is doing in Oyo State.
All right. Moving on.
So let's take some messages. Remember the numbers. You can send in your WhatsApp messages and text messages to those numbers: 0818 202 5883, as well as 0810 608 1681, and on Facebook at Metro97.7 FM. We got one message staring at us in the face, so I'm going to start with it. Good morning, it says. It starts, this judges that gave judgment on the previous presidential election must have dipped their hands in the cookie jar, so they acted according to script being given to them by the FG. God help us in this country. Or Dion sent in that one, making accusations. Okay. Then a morning Metro FM. What a sweet victory for APC. We now look forward to the president put his signature on the electoral law on his desk. Elder Fabian from Surulere sent in that one. And we got another one here, and this reads simply from Uzodinma. It says, Good morning, Sunday, Seyi and Toby. Presidential Election Petition Tribunal judgment was premeditated and a sham. It was shenanigans and a shame to our judiciary. It is apparent that justice was denied and judiciary is not independent. I'm amazed that the judges overlooked the issue of Buhari's educational qualification and justified swearing of false affidavits. Was it false affidavit? Okay, let me just read on. I wonder how Muhammadu will be. Muhammadu, it is ridiculous. God help Nigeria. Uzodinma is reacting and he doesn't like the judgment. I made some claims there, but then Thanks for your opinion on the matter. My name is IK. Okay, what? This is not for us. This person is sending me statistics of himself. Okay.
No, it must have been the one from last night.
And then yes, then someone is saying, "Call my boss. He refused to pay up something." Let's just take some more messages. This one says, "Good morning, all in the studio. Now that the battle is over, can the APC-led government give us good governance? Because of bad leadership and maladministration, our people are slaughtered outside the shores of the great country. A bag of rice costs 20,000 a bag. The Yuletide is around the corner. Transporters are sharpening their knives to cut our throats. APC, wake up and deliver us." Reverend Oyema from Ikotun sent in that one as well. And then we've got another one, Samuel from Lekki, who is saying, "What does South Africa want? They said we should go. Now they want to stop us from going. Is it that a plot to make sure they kill all Nigerians there? Yet our own government is busy pampering them on the tribunal. It is so sad. Those who spent so much time in law schools with certificates to show and going to the position of judges are the ones telling us you don't need a certificate to be president and decide over everything. No wonder we're so backward." Shay Martins, I need to react on this because certain people, a lot of people seem to think you need to be a graduate to be president. So I think you need to clear that.
Well, it's not
qualification.
What the judges say, because
no, let's talk about the qualification to become. I know it's
it's there.
Yeah.
No. You must have
At least
gone
one thing
through.
is sure.
It doesn't say. It's not
He
specific.
said if you can read and write. So
yes, you would have attained some level of education, at least
okay.
a school cert education. Then it goes further. Your experiences still counts, and this is what the judges are making into law for us, that is becoming precedent. The experiences of the president within the period after school, after that secondary education, that there was evidence that he was in school. He attended a secondary school from where he went further. His experiences in government and all of that seem to have counted for him. Whether you have school sets, whether you have plenty ability from BA, MA, SA, B,
we get the picture.
all of them.
We get the picture.
So all of those capabilities put together is acceptable.
So if
But the
if
minimum
okay.
as required, the translation for us now is at least you know how to read and write and you passed through a secondary school education. That is what the matter is.
Okay.
So
All
when
right, then.
people say referring to judges, that is why they are judges. They've gone through all of these things, and they have to interpret to the common people like us as to what to think next time.
Okay. All right. So still moving on with more messages. Good you clear that, and it's really funny because a nation like Nigeria, with all we're not the most educated African country to start with, but we have a lot of educated people, and Nigeria is so large. The most populated black nation. We would think that this particular aspect of the law requirement for becoming president would have been revisited and made to look more 21st century.
I want to say we are one of the most educated people in Africa, because for our numbers,
Okay.
for our numbers,
In numbers, sheer
yes,
numbers.
in sheer numbers, we have quite a lot of educated people. Whether that resources or the data, as it were, is being put into use to make us really feel that color, and the resources being deployed is another matter. But I don't know of any African country that has as much graduates as Nigerians.
Okay.
None.
Okay. Well, in sheer numbers,
In
as
sheer
you say,
numbers.
because we're the most populated.
Yeah, well,
black-
look at the
most
numbers.
populous
Look at
black
the numbers of graduates from Nigeria that are unemployed presently.
Just talk about the ones leaving school.
We're
every
talking
year.
educated, right? Not.
Okay. So let's continue. I'll just quickly run through these ones. All the history the judge were reading out yesterday, you would have just went straight to declare PMB the winner instead of taking the whole time from Egbezian Army saying that one. And then we also have yesterday's judgment was a bizarre, only time will tell. This is to tell us that justice is murdered in this country. Macbeth murdered death and cannot sleep. God help us, Reverend Oyema again. And then we also have another one here say congratulations to PMB for that wonderful outing yesterday at the tribunal. Yes, majority Nigerians voted for PMB / APC, not Atiku / PDP in the 2019. And I'm very happy the way it swung, but I'm not too okay with that long 8 hours plus sitting. So I will appeal to INEC to please give us e-voting and e-results in 2023 so that it will reduce all these time wasting and resources at courts.
Well, I was listening at that point where they talked about electronic voting, and when the aspect of electronic voting was discountenanced by the justices. Let's not get something wrong here, that they declared Buhari, or they gave the votes and everything to Buhari. No. What the justices have said, the tribunal declared Buhari validly elected. It's different from Naim win. Do you get it? That wasn't what they said. They want, if you put everything, that's
so
8
the
hours.
case was built around disqualifying Buhari,
absolutely,
winning.
Indeed. So the tribunal declared him validly elected.
All right, let me just take three more so Toby could take the other ones from our people on Facebook before they start a riot. This one is the last one I read is from Malaba Lakwe. Dear Atiku, my advice for you is to forget about going to the Supreme Court, as the odds are terribly against you. I already knew from the onset that they will use legal and technical jargons to strike out your case. If you go to the Supreme Court, these same guys will be there waiting for you. The unwritten law now is read first and settle the court later. Come on, guy, that's not true. And so, my brother, take my advice. Okangbe leader from Mafoluku sent in that one. And one more, then Toby's going to take us home. It's a good day, everyone in the studio. I don't expect more from the judges. Well, let's move on. This is a bad precedent. Please, is Seyi Makinde a Nigerian? From Pastor Oladipo Ayemo in Igomo. A lot of people are asking that question. So.
All right, now moving on to some of our people on Facebook. From our Facebook Live, we have Raf Obi. Coming from Raf Obi, the judgment is read. Thank God that the whalers and haters are buying from the same market.
Abu.
And from Engineer Darlington, James, good morning, Seyi, my man. It's so disheartening that almost all the roads in Alimosho is bad. Our beloved government was celebrating 100 days few days ago. What has he done in Alimosho? What we need is good roads and electricity. Without that, he's done nothing. Coming from Umma Olebara from Owerri, Nigeria, my beloved country, I weep for you. They've dealt a bestial blow on you. They raped and murdered, buried our judicial system with recourse. All right, now moving on to some of the comments from our headlines today. Coming from Steve Oma Ofozo. Good morning, Metro Crew. On the continued killings of Nigerians home and abroad, I kept asking if the life of an average Nigerian meant anything to this leadership. Oyewole Fatola, I listened to the live broadcast of the Presidential Election Tribunal. Irrespective of the final judgment of the sitting, either to favor of Mr. Y or Mr. Z, I think there is need to amend our electoral laws to give credence to our democracy. The hours spent to interpret someone's work qualification, work results and recommendations from school principal was a mere wasting of time. Chijoke Azu, I expected nothing different from the Presidential Election Tribunal. This is Nigeria. How I wish truly Ajaokuta still will come to life. Moving on, Gabriel Ibanga, I said it yesterday. that Atiku should accept the tribunal verdict in good faith for the interest of Nigeria. But as it stands now, PDP said they didn't accept the ruling, so they are free to appeal the judgment. Solomon Benoba presidential election petitions. Tribunal is another opportunity lost by the judiciary to redeem its image. Moving on to El Gamboni. Good morning, Metro FM. Ikeja Electric has failed us 9 months of darkness. We, the people of Igbenyado Street, Shasha, and nothing has been done yet. Alimosho local government, yes. Moving on to Okangbeli. Okay, I think you've had something.
Can I quickly respond to that bit?
Okay.
That's a community that's been off for 11 months.
9 months.
9 months. 9 months. They've been complaining, and we've been talking about it. We've talked about it a number of times, I believe, even on our Beguna, with respect to Ikeja electricity. That is a community next to the airport. In fact, they are on the barriers of the perimeters of the airport, and it is always in darkness. When you're flying into this is funny, when you're flying in at night and you will see the light of the airport, then you will see some massive, it's like a black hole, then specks of lights around and about farther on, and this community has persistently been in darkness for 9 months, and Ikeja authorities are just like Sunday, turning face away. That's
I didn't turn my face away.
All right, moving on. We'll take 2 more. Abdurafi Alakwi, congratulations to PMB for that wonderful outing yesterday at the tribunal. Yes, majority Nigerians voted for PMB APC, not Atiku PDP in 2019. I'm very happy the way it swung, but I'm not okay with the long 8 hours plus sitting. So I will appeal to INEC to please give us e-voting and e-results. Oh, okay. All right, Abu Otene, the unanimous decision by the Justice of the Appeal Court yesterday affirmed the victory of Buhari over Atiku as a further indication that the Nigerian project has God's divine approval and Buhari was chosen by God. Ambassador Oloruntobi, xenophobia returnees. My worry now is that the consequences of the failure of Nigeria's running elite class in tackling socioeconomic equality is which prompted most of these returnees to run to SA to get greener pastures are back to confront us as stark realities. Thank you so much to everyone who sent in their comments, questions, contributions on Facebook, WhatsApp, text messages. Thank you so much. It's now time for us to go to Abuja for the first network news for this morning. I have been Oloruntobi Adejare, and with me has been
Sunday, Imonah, radio boyfriend, persona.
Go on.
And Seyi Omo Martin. See you again at 8 o'clock when we do this again on AMLagosLive at 2.
Yeah, go find my key first, because I don't know how I can get into that office. Yeah, it's just bulb. I'll send for bulb then. Those stores will not be open.
Radio Nigeria.
Thank you so much.
And uniting the nation.
All right, thank you for joining us.
Let me go
Join
and
us
sleep.
again at 8 o'clock.
May I go
for
sleep
the part
first?
2 of AM
I
Lagos.
will work at 8.
The time is 7 o'clock.
You know there's a difference in taste from this banana from the same bunch.
Anand Fubara Pepu. The headlines. Reactions to President Muhammadu Buhari.